welcome. Yeah, so folks, if you're watching this, as you saw in the previous video, I am having some editing software issues. And so every video for a while is just going to go up raw, no intro, no cutting, no editing, until I can figure out the software situation.
I think you
So,
can add the intro. We can talk about it after this. I think you can
yeah.
add the intro in YouTube.
Yeah,
Like they allow you to
I don't
basic
even know how to
that.
do any of that crap.
All
'Cause
right.
I've always just done the editing myself, so
Yeah.
I've never looked into that other thing. Anyway, we're here. It's Crep from the '80s, and we're gonna talk about not the '80s.
The most 80s thing ever.
Um, it is the end of the year. Casey and I have already talked about our favorites as far as TV and movies were concerned for
Hmm.
2022. There was a couple things I forgot to add, like The Boys. um, the newest season of The Boys was fantastic, and that should have been in there. Um, I hadn't seen Pinocchio yet, and it was good. I didn't like flip for it, but it was good and sad. Uh,
Yay.
and in that video, we did say that we were going to do a separate Avatar video, and that's what this is. This is our Avatar Way of Water, our thoughts about the new James Cameron film, 13 years in the making.
Yeah.
Um, I have seen it twice now, and tomorrow I'm going to see it for the third time with the lady. Um, and yeah, it was great. I loved it. I loved the movie.
Me
Um,
too. End of video.
like
Yeah, it was. Oof.
throughout the years, in plenty of the videos and podcasts that Casey and I have done together, we certainly have talked about our love of the first Avatar movie. We are not on that hate train like so many people are for some reason. um, I don't. The whole idea of it's like other movies. The story is like other movies. Well, I guess you're not paying attention to film because there's not a lot of original story out there. Everything
Right.
is sort of redone and repackaged. It's all in how it's executed. Um,
Yeah.
you know, there's very few stories left that have not been untouched, uh, as far as originality is concerned. Um,
Right.
so I've never bought into that stupid. It's like this. That's like that is a non-starter for me. And if you straight up just didn't think technically it was a Marvel, then I don't know. I mean, your brain isn't working properly. Um,
I've never met anyone who has said it doesn't look, amazing. Um, I mean, even in the first one with the complaints, Fern Gully, it's Dances with Wolves, blah blah. I always say, and those are all John Carter of Mars, and that story has been told a million different times, a million different ways.
yeah, yeah,
Star Wars is a huge, and explaining to Star Wars fans is just so imbecile. I get really angry because I'm like, you can accept Star Wars as an original concept, but not this. Like, come on, guys.
yeah.
Like,
It's ridiculous.
but
It's
yeah, we're in that mind. Like, what? So it doesn't matter, even if it is Fern Gully and it is all those things. It's how it's done.
yeah. That's
Apparently, you didn't like how it was done, but the
exactly. That's
story
it.
hasn't changed.
It didn't hit you in whatever way.
Yeah, and
But
that's
for
fine.
us
You
for us, it fucking worked. And, I saw that first one 9 times.
know.
Um, Only
Is that the
once.
most you've gone to a movie?
What? You fucking kidding me? Hell
Or
no.
was it like what did you use, like Wayne's World?
What? No
What have
way.
you seen more than 9 like, in the theater?
I saw Fellowship of the Ring 18 times
Okay.
in the theater. I saw Phantom Menace 14 times.
Well, that's just plain stupid. Yeah,
Believe me, I
I
know.
yeah.
And, probably everything but 2 times out of Phantom Menace, I hated.
Yeah.
I just couldn't accept that it was bad.
Uh, yeah, no, it's
But no, no,
sorry.
far from.
Alright, so Avatar's low on the list.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I saw Back to the Future 2 6 times in the theater,
Well, as
you
you
know?
should, you have to catch up on all those subtle nuances.
But I mean,
Yeah, this is so okay, so you're gonna see at least 3 times in the theater.
yeah, definitely things have changed. It's a lot nicer having a home theater in the basement. Um,
Right, right,
so there's a certain point where I'm okay with not going, over and over and
right.
over again because eventually I'm just going to be sitting in my home watching it, you know, in front of my face on a 128-inch screen. I'm okay with that.
Have you been I was talking about this as we were standing in line for food because you don't have to stand in line for your seats anymore. Because the first time we went and saw Avatar, we probably waited, I don't know, a couple hours, maybe more. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? To a
yeah, yeah,
midnight show.
yeah.
And I was talking with Dave and Nish and stuff, and they were like, I don't have the same excitement as I used to um, going to movies because of that. I don't have to wait anymore. I'm just like, oh, just walk in. And, like I'm excited to see a movie, but that general like movie theater excitement until the movie starts
Yeah,
is not the same as it used to be.
yeah. It's something that they took away. I mean, uh, I think the last time I remember doing that was for Force Awakens. We were they let us in, but and we were in that line. We were laying around watching stuff, talking
Yeah.
about shit. That was
Talk
the
about the
last I
people.
can remember.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it was just because it was Star Wars at the time. The other two we didn't have to. We just went right
No, we
in.
didn't.
You know,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it takes away a little bit of the excitement for these types of films, um, or as far as not maybe excitement, but anticipation.
Is it
Um,
anticipation?
the
Anticipation.
line was always fun. It was a part of the journey of going to see
Exactly.
these big films.
Exactly.
So, but I mean, I was pumped. I didn't really care. I was like so
Yeah.
excited uh, to see this. I was ready to go back to Pandora and see what James Cameron was going to offer us. And it worked, man. Like it was awesome. I'll say this, like that first screening, again, it's a 3 hour and 12-minute movie. Um, and I don't feel it. I didn't feel it specifically the first time for sure because I was just so you're just looking at everything.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
taking
It's a
everything
lot.
in. I mean, there's a spot in the movie, which is probably like, 10 to 15 minutes long, where it literally is just
The underwater scene.
kids discovering the
Yeah.
underwater stuff,
Yeah.
or Loak with the whale, you know, and
Yeah.
and but it's all for like, check this out, it's
Yeah.
not only is it the kids discovering this and being in awe and wonder, but it's also the audience. So
Yeah.
I had no problem with it, and I think that first viewing, like most first viewings of big movies for me, I am so one, I'm in shock that I'm watching the film, you know. Two,
This is me.
I'm taking it all in. And so I'm not picking up on every little story beat or nuance of the tale that is being told or anything like that. I'm just sort of in awe and being swept up into the world again.
Yeah.
So the second viewing, I and not that I didn't like the story the first time. It's just I was paying attention to so many other things, um, and it got me. Like I mean, I you know cried a couple times because this
Hmm.
story hits home a lot more for me, being a parent and all of those things, and having a son, and you know this one is very family oriented and keeping your family safe and all of that stuff. So that certainly hit home with me. But the second time I was able to really like sit and let um, the story sort of take over while still sort of being in awe and not even noticing things. The first time I noticed them now. And I think that's something with a movie like this, every time you're going to see it, I think you're going to see something like, whoa, look at that. Look
Yeah.
at that thing. That thing looks real. you know, um,
For all we know, it is.
and I also, the second time, I also was more aware of the 3D. Uh, Again, while the first time I was just so like happy and excited to just be back in that world and sort of taking it all in, but I wasn't paying attention because I was just sucked in there, I guess. But the second time, um, with the 3D stuff, I was really like paying attention to it. I was like, wow, this is way more impressive
Oh yeah.
than the first one, specifically in the water stuff, because I really did feel like I was in the
In it.
water.
Yeah.
Um, the water is like coming right up to you. And so when they stick their head up, you're also like sitting right
Yeah.
there, like, um, so that was really awesome the second time. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a great movie on a lot of levels, and I'm excited to see where uh, three goes. You know,
Yeah, that was my only complaint. And like I could nitpick. Like I have friends, this happened, blah blah blah. And I just don't care. Like yeah, there's some stuff in it. Like if I really wanted to drill down on story, um, though this isn't a talking about originality. This is more of an original idea, I guess. This particular tale, like we haven't seen it before. Um, but overall, I just I wanted the next chapter to come. You know what I mean? It felt very much like the end of Fellowship for me, where like I know there's a huge world out there and we just saw like the tip. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the first movie was issue 0 and this was issue 1. Like here you got your little bit of backstory about these guys, but really it's about this family and the shit that they're gonna have to go through still in order to, I guess, stop the white man or whatever the ultimate goal is to get these people out of Pandora, which is a giant planet. So I'm excited to see desert people. I'm excited to see snow Navi. Like I'm excited to see all this crazy stuff that I'm sure we have no idea what he's got. in his brain. And
Yeah.
I'm excited because it's not done, but it's shot done. Like
Yeah.
they're just doing visual effects. So, not to say that I want James Cameron to pass away ever, but at least it's kind of like it won't just not end what he has in his head. I love that. And they're going to keep making money. So we're good there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, where it's, you don't doubt James Cameron, you know?
You always bet on black.
And really, I
Uh,
mean, there's only I will never watch Titanic.
I know you
Never.
won't.
I I have less than 0 interest in seeing that movie. I just do not care. No interest in it.
Yeah.
But everything else he's done, I enjoy. I think my least favorite is The Abyss,
Right.
but
Yeah.
even that is entertaining.
Right.
Everything else he's done is, like, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the thing. Everything else is awesome. It's not even like, oh, that was a good James. It's like, no, that was a great fucking movie. And I probably watch it on a yearly basis.
I wish I
He's
wish
a
True
masterpiece.
Lies would come out on Blu-ray or
Blu-ray
4K or
or
something. Jesus
yeah,
Christ,
yeah.
you know?
Um, I was talking to people too. I mean, I'm sure the people you talk to are not saying anything bad against. Is anyone in the group not like Avatar?
I don't know. I
I
mean,
feel like everyone does.
my that the group is so interesting. It's all sort of over the place. It really is um, a mixed bag. Um,
Yeah.
it's tough to say what connects and what doesn't to people. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I
I'm
guess
sure. I'm sure there's some people in the group that don't like the movie or just don't care about the movie. You know what I mean?
right.
Which is fine.
Exact.
Which is
Yeah.
fine. Um, the only one that I know has seen this movie and loved it was Clint.
Okay.
Clint was he was like, "I was blown away," you know?
Awesome.
And then he went and
Yeah.
watched, like, the making of it.
Well, I guess that's what I was getting to is like, I feel like most of the people that I talk to about movies in general. And, I had a friend, oh, this is stupid, blah, blah. I have no desire, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I'll tell you this, regardless of everything, James Cameron is a true filmmaker. He is one of a very small group of them, Peter Jackson, fucking George Lucas, Spielberg, all those guys who push cinema forward. Whereas as much as I love Marvel and superheroes and all this kind of stuff, they're not doing anything like Robert Zemeckis, you know what I mean? Like who are like literally like inventing new ways to keep watching movies.
Yeah,
Even J.J. Abrams, who I love, he hasn't done anything new. It's
yeah,
just he does what Spielberg does, and he might add a lens flare on it. So, like, to see a movie that's actually pushing 3D forward, underwater, CGI, blah, 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 blah. Like, to me, it's like, just go see it from a film, like, just a fucking movie standpoint. Turn your brain off for those 3 hours. But I think that's the only argument that I ever give to anybody who tries to say anything. It's like, yeah, but what about all these other things that literally mean nothing to the world of cinema? And not that I don't watch those things either, but I like that he does. He's one of the few.
well, he knows. I think James Cameron is a filmmaker that knows exactly how to entertain an audience on every level,
Yeah.
He is a he's a blockbuster popcorn filmmaker.
Yeah.
He can hit every quadrant and entertain the hell out of you. I mean, he knows
Yeah.
exactly what he's doing, and he does it with some of the most simple stories, you know? And that is because I think it's a way to gather as much people as possible into that world and accept that world and um it isn't mind bending storytelling. It's
No.
it's base, simple. Everybody can accept it. Everybody can relate to that type of storytelling, and then he gives you the pow bang as well. So it's just
Yeah.
you know it's a highly appealing type of storytelling. Uh, he makes popcorn cinema, and he's one of the best at it. You know, um, he hasn't failed at it.
No.
Even with Titanic, which I will never see, I have 0 interest in, but that movie was at one point the biggest movie of all time financially,
Yeah. Yeah.
until he himself destroyed that
Beat
record
himself. Yeah.
with Avatar,
Yeah.
you know?
What do you think? Do you think this one's gonna
Um,
surpass? I think it's gonna surpass. Honestly, I think it's gonna be number two. That number for number one is so high up there that it just seems completely unattainable. But if anything's gonna do it, it's this. But I think it will be number two.
it could be. I mean, right now, number 2 is Endgame. Um,
Which
I
didn't
don't
have. Did it have 3D? Can't remember if they had the
yeah, I mean, it
3D.
had 3D.
I
I
think
mean, it
they did.
wasn't, it
Yeah.
wasn't pushed.
Right.
It
Yeah.
wasn't a you have to see it in 3D type of thing.
Right. Right.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I don't care. You know what I mean?
I'm just curious. Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
just.
care if this movie, whatever. Like, I fucking love it. You know what I mean? I think I don't really care box office wise at all because I like fart boxes. I like movies that nobody gives a shit about, nobody cares about, and tanked and didn't make any money or didn't even get a theatrical release. So
I get that too.
I don't really care about box office. But I mean, already the movie is $1.1 billion. Like it's just like you're silly to ever bet against James Cameron. Um,
Yeah. Um, I guess I mean like I care about box office if it's somebody I want to keep making movies in that way. In
but I mean,
that
they'll keep
way.
making movies. James Cameron, for better or worse, is in the Avatar business. He's not going
Yeah,
anywhere.
I mean he's done. I think that's probably the last thing he'll do is
Yeah, I mean, the
Avatar
next other than
3000.
producing,
Yeah, right. A
the
new
next
Terminator probably.
the next 5 years is Avatar. And they're just gonna keep making money. So, whether or not we get all 5, I don't know, but I would be surprised if we don't get the 4th, you know? Um,
Yeah.
and that's okay. That's more Avatar than I thought we would ever get, you know?
Yeah, but I want to know the ending.
Well,
You would, you
he
know what I mean?
said that the good thing is that they have ending points to each film regardless of, uh
Not this one. Not this one.
well,
Not. No. It's
I
not an
mean,
ending. Oh, the bad guy gets away? Like, no.
I think he means 3, 4, and 5, like,
I hope so.
I mean, he said it
In that sense.
specifically that if 2 tanked, they'll end at 3,
Right.
you know, because 3 is basically already shot. They're gonna do 3. It's gonna come out, but they have an ending point for 3. You know, if it wasn't a successful venture, and
You
then they
should
have
listen to that episode, that podcast episode. Because he even said, like, we shot some stuff through 5
I know they shot some
because of this.
4, but again, it wasn't everything.
No, it's mostly he said because of the kids aging out.
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
to get their parts shot even, all the way through because
Yeah.
they aged out.
Um,
It's crazy.
I just read that he had given Disney a 9-hour cut of part 3. Um,
What is it?
and he's waiting for uh all of the CG to be done before he starts cutting it down.
It's bonkers.
I mean, whatever. Like, part 3 is coming out in 2 years. It's coming out in
Yeah,
December of 2024. We're getting part 3. Uh,
yeah.
Huzzah! Bring it on.
Yeah, I that was literally as soon as it ended, I was like, let's wait 2 years. It
It is.
felt like
It is. It is now a franchise.
that's what I mean.
You know?
Yeah, it felt like that Star Wars feeling of bring on what's next. Bring on what Lord of the Rings. Like I need to know what the next thing is to know what this story is going to be like,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Haven't had that feeling since fuck, I don't know, The Hobbit maybe. I didn't really care.
Well, Star Wars.
Yeah. Well,
We did. We wanted to know. We wanted to
yes, I
fucking.
absolutely wanted to know. Yes, absolutely did want to know. Even if I didn't like the ending of 8, I still absolutely wanted to know what's going to happen at 9. You're right,
Yeah,
for sure.
but you
Yeah.
you know, I mean, at the end of Force Awakens, that was like a huge cocktail
That was
party.
that was so hyped. I was so excited. So, yeah, Avatar was fantastic. I'm curious what everyone else thinks of how many people are if you're going to talk about the story, it's fine. You could do whatever you want. We don't monitor the chat other than like real hate speech and stuff. Just know for us, you will be falling on deaf ears.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It's like I mean, there's so many movies with simple stories. So what? Like I don't understand why when it comes to something like Avatar, they have to like flip the fuck out.
It's very
Like,
weird to
so
me.
what?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. But
bizarre.
have you seen giant blue people doing those things? I mean, like,
No,
that's
I
it.
know. I know.
That's
And
all
they've
it
been on
is.
this planet and fucking
Yeah.
done it the way that they fucking did it. Like
Yeah.
95% of these movies is all computer generated, like and looks real, you know? The only reason to your eye it may not look real is because you've never seen fucking 10-foot tall blue people, you know?
Yeah. Even the first one holds up pretty damn good.
Yeah, it
I
does.
rewatched it and I was like, okay, this is fine. Yeah, it's not. I mean, in some ways, it holds up to nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't
Oh,
hold up to James Cameron for
yeah,
what he
yeah.
did in part two.
Well, I guess when it was re-released in 4K
The
in the
4K,
cinemas, I
yeah,
guess it like really enhanced some shit and people were blown away like by how it looked
cool,
in 4K. So I want that disc,
good, can't wait. Yeah.
you know. Supposedly it's coming in March.
Well, maybe they'll do like a two pack,
Yeah,
4K
they're
two
gonna
pack,
release it
probably.
when the second one comes out, and
Yeah,
get
that's
this,
fine.
they're all coming from 20th Century Fox, and they're all 4K. So or
But not
Disney.
True Lies.
I know it's so. Ugh. I have been
Nothing for True Lies. Like nothing for True Lies. Like, come on.
I've
You
been
know
stubborn.
Arnold. You
I
can
have
do
not
something.
I've not watched the movie
I haven't seen
in
in
fucking years
decades.
because I've been like, nope, I don't want to watch it unless it's gonna be cleaned up. I want to see a pristine version of this goddamn movie. It's on
That's
like
From Dusk Till Dawn
a
for
lot of
me. I haven't
streaming
watched it in
sites.
forever.
Yeah, I
Ugh.
won't watch From Dusk Till Dawn until we get that new 4K because I know how bad that Blu-ray is.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's not for me.
Anything else about the cinematic tour de force of James Cameron?
I just, what do you say? I am so happy that there's people out there like him who uh, care about genre filmmaking this much. You know,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like
like,
Guillermo, maybe, some JJ in there, but yeah, not everyone does.
um, I mean, if you think about it, every one of his movies, other than fucking Titanic, is all
Well, True
genre.
Lies isn't. Yeah, I guess
It's a
the
genre. It's a
action.
spy action comedy. It is a
Yeah, yeah,
genre
yeah,
film.
yeah.
It's not a
Well,
run of the mill fucking movie.
it's not. It's
It's
not.
so ridiculous. You know,
Yeah,
um,
it's comedy first.
and I just love that he like doubles down on it, man. He's just like, no, I love telling out of this world storytelling. I
Yeah,
love
even
giving them
Alita,
exactly.
which took forever, and it's a great movie, which I hope they do another.
Oh man, I really hope they do.
And I hope they like for that too. Like, give me an ending where it ends, even if you do another one, so that it like just give me a complete story. Because now I'm kind of like waiting.
Well, clearly they were
I know.
anticipating to do the next chapter in that.
It-
Um,
yeah,
it wasn't the end of that story. There's so much more to go, and I hope they get to. I hope Disney just ponies up and does it. Uh,
me too.
I
Well,
think
maybe
now,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think now that since the movie came out, it has certainly garnered much more of an audience than when it hit
Hmm.
theaters. Um, so I think
Well,
they're
now they're working more with him too, Rodriguez. So
yeah, man. Give us
throw him
give
a
us
bone.
give us Alita Part 2, Chapter 2.
That's it.
Um, but yeah, man, I this is great. I loved it.
Me
So
too.
bring it on. 2 years, 2 years for the next one. But we have the Blu-ray, the 4K Blu-rays to anticipate. We've got the
Hmm.
toys to
Hmm.
anticipate. uh,
I saw that hot toy.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Katie was like, "We're not going to make the same
Ooh.
mistake this time," because we had ample opportunity to get Jake Sully the first time,
Yeah.
and she never pulled the trigger.
This
Uh,
is the hard part with those kind of figures. Like, I know you said you were okay with a Doctor Strange, but it's like sometimes I want this. You know what I mean? Like, I still want that Captain America from Winter Soldier specifically, like in the
uh,
stealth suit. You know what I mean? Like, I like other costumes, but I like that one. So, like,
well,
this Jake
Doctor
Sully might not
Strange.
be the best Jake Sully.
I mean, he's naked. I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Well, maybe I don't know. He's got new tats. He's got different hair weave.
what we both really want is Neytiri. They didn't make a hot toy for Neytiri.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, she
So
would be
I'm
the one
hoping that that's going to be a surprise that we get that. Um,
with a banshee.
exactly. You
That's
know,
what I want.
those
Mm,
fuckers,
exactly for
hot
that
toys, are
scale.
fucking
Probably be
huge.
like $700, $800, $1,200 set. You know how they do. Um, but yeah, it's just. I hope they keep doing. For me, give me some comics.
Well,
Give
they had
me some
those.
supplemental shit. Yeah, I know, but like,
I'm gonna pick up those graphic
do
novels
this.
because there's the
Yeah.
stories between the two movies,
Okay. Well, then,
um,
yeah, I need
and
that.
they
I need to read
collected.
that.
I think they collected 3 graphic novels,
Oh,
and they're on Amazon. So I'll grab those.
yeah, for sure.
So
Keep the world alive.
yeah, sweet.
Good.
Well, guys,
Eh,
that was our Avatar: The Way of Water review. What we thought of it. We didn't really
yeah.
go into specific things, obviously. you didn't see it, go out and see it. Uh,
Yeah, this is
here's
a
what I'll s
spoiler-free review, I guess. We didn't really
Yeah,
spoil
yeah,
anything.
yeah, we clearly we didn't get into there's certain scenes that are fucking phenomenal. Um, but I would say discover them for yourself. Um, I will also say this, uh, I've seen it in IMAX 3D.
Yeah.
Um, and because there's no Dolby Cinema around us, uh, to sort of compare,
Mhm.
I would say go see IMAX 3D as opposed to a regular digital presentation of the movie. Uh,
Right. I would always recommend.
you know, because it is phenomenal. But
Mhm.
if we had a Dolby Cinema, I would probably see it in that as well because people are saying that it's fucking out of this world, sharp as can be. You know, uh,
You know what does? I gotta go to Toronto tomorrow. They have they have theater up there.
do they have a Dolby?
I'm pretty sure they did because I wanna say, like, when The Force Awakens came out,
Well, they have a laser IMAX.
maybe it's the laser
They
IMAX.
do have laser IMAX because I
Hmm.
remember Katie and I went up to Toronto and we saw probably for our fifth time of Force Awakens.
Force
No,
Awakens.
no, actually, it was our ninth time. The last time we saw it, we saw it in laser IMAX
Okay.
up there.
Um, yeah,
And
I'll have
yeah,
to look.
it looked amazing. But the Dolby cinemas are like fucking, I guess,
Even better.
mind blowing. So we don't have
Hmm.
that, and we also, thankfully, as far as I'm concerned, we did not have the high frame rate um, version of the film.
Didn't bother. I didn't notice anything
Well, they didn't have it. It wasn't
personally.
on it. So,
Yeah.
thankfully, for me, that was not included, um, because I do not like that. I don't like it, and I probably never will. It's a hideous way to watch anything. So, but if you got an IMAX close to you, please, do yourself a
Yeah,
favor.
Trek.
Uh, it's gonna suck you in, and wow, wow, what a way to see it. Now we got a show. Now we
Delicious.
got to watch Wet Heat in IMAX.
That's CGI. Woo!
Yeah. Scrotal vengeance. The way it was meant to be seen.
Muddy as hell.
Shot on fucking mini DV from
uh,
2001.
yeah, no.
The most crisp, eye popping visuals. All right. Well, folks, that
Hmm.
was it. Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
If
let
you
us know
saw
in
it,
the
let us
comments.
know what you thought. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. What do you do?
Yeah, that's fine
Um,
too.
we're not going to change your mind, and you're certainly not going to change our minds. So, but it's okay. All art is subjective, and but for us, we enjoyed it. And if you did like it, let us know. Let us know what you liked. It was great. Did the 3 hours cruise by for you? It did for me.
There's a blink.
I like being in that world, so
Yeah, me too.
it's good for me. All right, that's
All
it.
right. Thank you, guys.
Bye. We'll see you next
Bye.
time.